So just in case you didn't know, during this quarantine, I've had lots of fun playing dress up and cosplaying on TikTok. I've also been uploading short little DIY things to TikTok because TikTok likes that, I think. And this one about my tracer wig kind of went a little viral. And while it is a really cool TikTok, you really can't see what I'm doing. I don't explain any of the steps. So I figured it's about time that I made a YouTube tutorial about exactly how I made this new tracer wig.
Oh my god, I found a wacky noodle. It's old, but it's gonna be perfect for Tracer's hair. Yeah! Oh, let's restyle Tracer's wig! So I just took off all the wefts from the top. Yeah. For foam, you can use a variety of foam. You can use EVA, you can use upholstery foam, you could use high density foam. Right now, it's quarantine, so I'm using what I got. What I got is a wacky noodle! Woohoo! Actually, I think this is pretty perfect. It's already like a cylindrical shape, we just gotta shape it like a spike. I find the easiest place to start is to cut off where the spike needs to lay on the wig head. All right. And now you can kind of see your spike take shape. It doesn't look right from any other angle, but from the front and the back, get a nice spike shape. Now, only because I'm using a wacky noodle, we gotta address the hole in the middle. I'm gonna fill it up with more foam. So I pretty much take a scrap, make sure it's gonna fill up what I need it to fill up. Now the best thing to glue foam is either rubber cement, barge, or spray foam. I tend to use spray foam because it's faster. My favorite is Spray 74. This is an industrial professional product. You might not be able to find it everywhere. Any crafting spray adhesive is going to work. These you can get at Michael's, it's the Crayon, or the Loctite spray adhesive. I think I got this from Michael's as well. The Loctite works a lot better than the Crayon in my opinion. This is a thicker spray. It actually really compares to the 74, it's really good. This is more like a fine mist, more for like scrapbooking and paper. This holds foam a lot better, but this will work. I'm actually going to use the Loctite for this project. Also, advisory, you should use this outdoors in a well-ventilated area. It is spray foam, it makes a mess. Put a drop cloth down. I do it in a trash can, but make sure it's well-ventilated because it is toxic. Spray both items. When they're dry to the touch. They shouldn't be sticky, but they will stick to each other. So, oh, it's gonna get stuck. Oh, come on, go, go. Once it's dry, we can keep shaping. Accidentally cut too much off? Just spray glue it back in there and fix it. Yeah, you fix it, you put that back together. And holes like that are totally fine because we're gonna be layering hair over it. You're not gonna notice. The tip might be a little wonky, but eventually when we put the hair on it, it'll keep its shape. You just wanna look out for really big bumps. Make sure it's pretty much smooth and equal all around. Then, once you're happy with it, start placing it around your other spikes. Now, just keep making more.
Next comes the part where we glue the wefts onto the hair spike. However, make sure you paint your hair spike the color of your wig because when you eventually put the hair over the spike, it doesn't cover the whole thing, so you need the underneath to match the hair. So let's just pretend that my spike is spray painted right now. And then I pretty much put a trail of hot glue on the edge of the weft and push it onto my foam spike. And I do this 2 times around the spike, so 2 layers of wefts around each spike. More if you want them to better coverage, but I found 2 was just about enough. Tangent here about hot glue and foam. Hot glue will eat through foam. It just burns right through it, so you do have to be careful. That's why if you'll notice, I actually put the hot glue on the weft and then stick the weft to the foam. It tends to eat through it a little less. Or if you use just a very small string of hot glue, or if you use the hot glue before it's gotten to its fully heated stage, it won't eat through the foam as much. Nonetheless, hot glue still works really well with foam, you just have to be careful. So here's one of my spikes. The wefts are hot glued around the base. And then, so they just kind of fall off of it, but we need to attach the hair fibers to my styrofoam spike. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is not the best way to do this, but it gives the look that I want. So typically for like permanent spikes, most of the time you just coat it in glue. I bought Cowbutt Crunchies book. I'm following the tutorials because I'm a good learner like that and I like to support other creators. But however, when I did a spike with the glue method, which is just you just cover it in white glue and attach it to the foam and it just kind of sticks and makes the permanent spike, it looks very plasticky, which is great for some looks. But because only half of my wig is like that, like the bottom half is loose and then the top is spiked, it looks really weird having these like plasticky looking and then the bottom shaggy. It just doesn't look right. So I am making up a new method. So essentially I need to get all of the hair to stick to my styrofoam spike without completely covering it and soaking it in glue. So to do that, I'm using a mix of spray adhesive. I'm using the more webby kind, not the mist kind. The mist might work too. The web just kind of grabs all of the hair fibers better. And I'm using the trusty Got To Be Glued hairspray to finish it all off. This makes it permanent. This does not. But between the two of them, my spikes are looking like hair and not just like plastic. But they're spiky. So essentially I had to hold down all of the wig fibers, that way I could get the spray glue just on the foam spike. But honestly, getting the spray glue on the fibers a little bit on the backs of them helped them stick up to the spike, so it's not a big deal. The spray glue is just very messy. You don't want it on the front sides of the wig fibers. And while the spray glue was still kind of tacky, I just kind of smoothed over the wig fibers over it, and then I coated it in hairspray so it would keep its shape on the outside, and just went back and forth between smoothing it over the foam spike and hairspraying it into place. And for the last step, even though I was really bad at positioning my camera, sorry about that, we can go on into finishing off the spikes. So essentially, I just used a small pair of scissors and trimmed down the scraggly ends of the wefts to make the spike nice and clean. And then I did use a little bit of white glue, watered it down just a tad, and smoothed it over the last like inch and a half of the tip of the spike to keep all the fibers into place. To attach the spikes to the wig head, all I did was use a little bit of hot glue, and again I tried to keep it on the outside weft and try not to hit the actual foam so I didn't melt it, and then just stuck it on my wig head and did that for all the spikes until it looked right. The last thing you're gonna need to do is maybe blend down some of the edges of the spikes. Not all of them will need this, but some of them. Especially in the front or on the part, you're gonna want to kind of blend over the harsh edge of the spike. To do this, you're just gonna need some extra hair, so you can either cut it off of a weft, but make sure you have a nice blunt edge, and then trim down the other side so it's maybe less than an inch long and kind of ragged. You don't want a blunt cut on the other end. Then you're gonna take this, put a little bit of hot glue on that blunt end, and then just stick it onto the wig where you need to hide a rough edge of a spike. Do this in little pieces over and over again until it blends through the wig. And ta-da! Your extremely spiky styled wig is done. Yeah, so this method will work for an infinite range of spiky wigs. Anime hair, Dragon Ball Z hair, Tracer hair, anything. Whatever method you choose to go about making a spiky wig, I hope this video helped you, and definitely pick up Cowbutt Crunchies' book. I backed it on the Kickstarter. I think it's up for sale. I will link it in the description below. Anywho, I wish you luck in embarking on your spiky wig journey, and I hope you enjoyed my video tutorial, and I will see you next time. Bye! I've given you food, I've given you a toy. Be quiet. I know you're happy. You're just screaming because you want to.
I'll be Tracer.
I'm already Tracer.
What about Widowmaker?
I'm already Widowmaker.
I'll be Bastion.
Nerf Bastion.
You're Rental Winston.
I wanna be Winston.
I guess I'll be Genji.
I'm already Genji.
Then I'll be McCree.
I already chose McCree.